All right, everybody. Welcome to this week's Team Huddle. Good job so far on the challenge. You know, we're all doing really good. And I just realized today that we only have 8 days left of the challenge. So, you know what? It's like just over a week left. We just need to just keep plugging along and hang in there. And, you know, we've accomplished a lot so far, and we're doing good. And all the readings and everything, you know, we've learned so much. But we just have to just hang in there, you know, till the end. So, I was just thinking of some things, you know, this week that, you know, some tips and tricks that can kind of help us meet our goal. First one that I was thinking of is commitment. You know, obviously, if you're listening to this, you're on the call, or if you're listening to playback, you know, we made a commitment to join this challenge. And so that's a good way to start with our health goals. With our health goals is, you know, to first commit. And when you commit to something, it just makes you more likely to follow through. So that's, you know, that's something we're already doing. And also what helps me with commitment is I'm pretty big about, you know, keeping my word. And so when I make a commitment or a goal, I like to make a promise to myself. You know, you typically wouldn't break deals with friends. But I would make a promise to myself and, you know, commit through it and follow through. Does anybody have any other goals or tips that kind of helps them keep going with their goals?
And I muted people because it was echoing, but just unmute yourself if you want to say stuff. Or like wave your hands and I'll unmute you. That works too.
With me, because last time I was talking to you guys, I was struggling. I couldn't get that thing back. I realized, like, talking about it to other people, talking about it to, like, sorry, that I was talking about it to other people. It keeps it in your mind, and it keeps you excited, and it keeps you motivated. And so when I was struggling, I realized I wasn't talking about it. And the minute somebody asked me something, I was just like, I couldn't shut up. I was talking about it. I was excited. And I realized, like, that's a way for me to stay committed is if I'm talking about it, it keeps it in my mind as a reminder. I'm excited about it. It's not something that's just forgotten in the background.
You know what? Thanks for sharing that, because that is actually true. When you're sharing your goals with other people, it makes you kind of accountable too, because if it's somebody that cares about you and somebody that, you know, you trust to share your goals with, they're going to ask you, you know, how you doing? And so it kind of keeps you keeping your part of the deal too, just by sharing your goals and what you have going on, because, you know, your family or your loved ones, you know, they're interested in you and they usually want to support you. So if you bring up what you're doing, chances are in the next few days, a week, 2 weeks, they're going to ask you, you know, how are you doing?
And you kind of have a sense of responsibility because now they know. And
exactly.
And you don't want them to, like, see that you're not doing something with it. Sorry, I'm shutting.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where commitment comes in. Does anybody have anything else to say about commitment?
Yeah, I liked how you talk about being committed. Sometimes it's like you have to decide whether you're interested or committed. Because sometimes you think, oh yeah, I want to, you know, get healthy, and then the next day it's like, oh, but it's my birthday, and oh, then it's Valentine's Day, oh, then it's St. Patrick's Day. Then you're just interested. But if you're really committed, I like what you said about, like, you make a promise to yourself and then you follow through, like you're making a promise to your best friend or to your husband or something like that. And I liked what Kimberly said about using your support system. I think that your brain can process things when you say it out loud. So I just wanted to kind of like agree with you guys while everyone's getting off mute to talk.
Yeah, and with the whole commitment thing, I mean, I've seen like some crazy commitment that's awesome. Like, I've seen people decide to get healthy like Thanksgiving Day or start Christmas Day. I even had somebody, third day on the program was Easter. You know, it's just kind of like when you're committed, it doesn't really matter what else is going on. And also, there's always something going on. So, like, there's never really time. So when you're committed, you know, it just, those things, they don't influence your goal or your decisions. The other thing that I want to talk about is that, say, you know, if you slip off track, things don't go as planned, the best thing to do is just act like it didn't happen. Next time you have to make a choice to eat, because we're eating every few hours, just make a good choice. So that's, I think, one of the biggest things to being successful is to not giving up. And if you slip up, you just keep going. Keep going with choices that help you reach your goal. What I've found is if you practice these things we're doing every day, you know, to get our points, we're drinking all our water, we're working out. Say you don't have time to work out and you know you need to do that point and you go for a quick jog or you do a bunch of sit-ups and push-ups, you're still doing something. And if you do those things long enough, all those things, you know, that we're teaching you, all the healthy habits we're practicing, if you do them long enough, they're going to become a habit. And so I think that's the thing, is to just never give up, keep making choices that help you reach your goal, and do it so much, pretty soon it's a habit. And habits are hard to break, and this would be a good habit, you know, that you'd want to keep. So does anybody have anything to share about, you know, about not giving up and just keep going instead of waiting for the next day or the next week or the next January to get going? About, you know, if you slip up, just making a good choice again.
I do.
Am I unmuted? Am I unmuted?
Yeah, we
Yep.
can hear you, Laura.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. One of the things I learned, and I credit Bonnie for always reminding me of this, because I used to do that. I would get so mad at myself if I felt like I slipped up. And I learned that when I thought of it that way, then I was thinking of it as a diet and not being healthy and a lifestyle change. And so when I started changing my mindset, then it's like I don't slip up anymore. I'm trying to make conscious choices to be healthy. And so then I don't beat myself up. I don't go through the day of, like, if I do have something that I probably shouldn't have or that's not as healthy, I don't go, oh, the day, you know, I'm done. I might as well eat the chocolate chips, or I might as well eat the ice cream, or what, you know, the donut or whatever else, because it's a lifestyle change, and it's all about being healthy and treating myself that I'm worth it, and that, you know, that I treated my body like I should. And so that's really helped me, is to change that mindset and not think of it as a diet.
Thanks for sharing, you know, that's really important to do.
Bonnie, I think you were off mute too. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the thing that has helped me the most, the thing that I heard that helps me the most, and I'll quote it incorrectly, but it was something to do with that there's, you know, there's going to be pain. There's either the pain of regret or the pain of self-mastery. And so I wrote that down and I put it on my computer so that I'd remember that, because yeah, it is painful in one way or another, but isn't it better to have that pain if you're mastering yourself rather than being sorry for what you've done?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I think that another thing with, I'll use the example of exercise, but it can go along with eating program or whatever, is a lot of times time, we use time as an excuse. Oh, I don't have enough time to go exercise. I don't have enough time to eat healthy, right? You don't, maybe you're not on you don't have meal replacements with you, and you don't have enough time to find something healthy, so you stop through the drive-through, right? It's still what I found is it's still there's great wisdom in still doing a little bit what you have time for. So if you normally work out, if your normal workout is, let's say, a half an hour, but you only have 5 minutes before you have to get ready to go, walk up and down your stairs a few times, or walk around your block. Jesslyn's raising the roof or something there. Yeah, raise the roof. Do some jumping jacks, whatever you can do in that 5 minutes, because what that's going to do is, I love what Pam said about commitment. Your brain is still going to say, I'm committed to this, and I did something. Because when you don't do something, it breaks those neural pathways that, oh, it's easy for me to break those things, and I'm not fully committed to it. So the next time an excuse comes up, or a possible excuse, it's easier to bypass it. But even if you walk up and down the stairs, or walk around your block, or do some jumping jacks, or like was mentioned, push-ups or sit-ups, you're saying, oh, no, I'm still committed to moving my body. Same thing with food, is even if you go through that drive-through, you say, you know what, I'm going to get the healthiest thing on their menu. I'm going to get a salad, and I'm going to make sure that I get some protein with that, carb-protein balance, rather than just saying, oh, I don't have enough time, I don't have my meals with me, something like that, so I'm just going to go completely off and go for the burger and fries, right? So it's taking the small choices day to day. Pam alluded to this. It's the things that you do day in and day out. And the interesting thing, I love what Bonnie said about it being hard. Well, guess what? When you create habits, it becomes easier. You actually burn fewer calories when you get used to the same exercise. World-class marathon runners, they burn about 20% fewer calories during a marathon than an average runner, because their body has become so used to managing that the calories that they need for that. So it's important to create those things, because you're taking the stress and pressure off your brain to continually make those choices, and then you just find yourself making the good, healthy choices, moving your body, even without having to rack your brain to do it.
Yeah, Jared, thanks for sharing that. That kind of comes up to the next thing I was going to say about just, little things that help you. And it's to plan ahead. And you're right, sometimes we don't have time to plan ahead, and time, but going through a drive-through, it's not weird anymore to get things like wrapped in lettuce or over lettuce. Just, if time is an issue, literally, you do have the choice when you go through the drive-through to grab something. Everywhere offers something protein, carb balance. So just take that second to customize it to you. And when I talked about planning ahead, if you're, on the 5-in-1 plan, pack your car and your purse with extra stuff, because life is crazy. And then if you're not, just pack other healthy snacks in your car or your purse or your office. Keep yourself prepared for when things don't go perfectly. And then the weekends, I love the weekends because typically we usually have more time. We like to barbecue, so we cook extra meat. And then Monday and Tuesday, we already have our protein ready for us. So I think, the biggest thing is to, make a commitment, which is awesome because we're all in one right now and we only have 8 days left. Just never give up. Keep moving towards things that, help you reach your goal. And then, planning ahead. So does anybody have any other, tips or tricks that help them keep going or to reach their goals?
Just be real with yourself. Just know what you want, know where you're headed, because just today, I had a dream last night about cheeseburgers, and I've been telling Bonnie all day that I wanted a cheeseburger. And she's like, fine, let's just go get a burger. And I was like, well, she's wrapped in lettuce. And I was like, well, I can't guarantee that my burger will be wrapped in lettuce. But then as we pulled in closer to Carl's Jr., we didn't go to Carl's Jr. And it's just, stop challenging choosing, and just being real with myself. In my heart, I really wanted one. Well, no, in my stomach, I really wanted a cheeseburger, but down deep inside, I know I didn't want a cheeseburger. So it's just like being real to yourself and just focusing on what you really want, because it's what I want. I want to get to my goals and be committed to that. It's not worth the bun.
You know what? Thanks for sharing. And also, Bonnie had good advice. Go get your cheeseburger, but wrap that baby in lettuce. Like we can still have things that help us satisfy, what we want. So
I'd also say prioritize. And I was doing push-ups, Jared. These are my push-ups. Drop and give me 10. This is raise-a-roo. This is push-ups. It took me and I am by no means perfect at it. It was easy to figure out the food when I found this program. It was stinking hard to figure out the exercise because I hate to sweat. I hate it. But I like how it makes me feel afterwards. And so prioritizing, I will always clean my house. I will always answer my emails. I love doing laundry. I like a perfectly clean house. There's stuff I will always do because I like to do it. So if I prioritize my exercise before anything else that I like to do, I get it done. Because it's a priority to put myself for those few minutes first. And so I finally have learned, and I still shove it. I mean, we're moving now. I'm like, I'll go pack. Let me pack instead of hit my treadmill or something. But I have found if I prioritize the things that are the best for me that I might not be great at, I get better at them. And then they become one of those I like to do it things. Like I love lifting weights. You just can't do it every day. Then they become those I really like to do this. Then I'll clean my house, and then I'll do my laundry, and then I'll do things. And then the whole rest of my day is great because I did the thing that was the best for me that maybe isn't my favorite to do yet.
You know what? Thanks for sharing that, because that's true. I do that with my water. I make myself drink like 20 ounces of water first thing in the morning before I can put like any flavoring or lemon or anything in it. So, that's a good take is, to prioritize, what's important to you because it helps you. Okay, does anybody have any other tips they'd like to share? Okay, so thanks for jumping on this huddle this week, and post your comments below. And just remember, we have 8 days left, so let's just kind of smash this out, and then let's just all finish as a team. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks, Pam. It was an awesome call.